Hey everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Shooting this one first thing in the morning. We have a little storm coming through this area tomorrow. Not actually through my area. It's going to hit to the west of us. We're not going to get hurricane effects where I am, but I had a chiropractic appointment tomorrow in Pensacola, and the weather's going to deteriorate, so my chiropractor called and need to go get it out of the way today, so that's all fine with me. Anyhow, that means I just had to get up kind of early this morning to get some things done so I could go down there today. So, ergo, I'm shooting a video first thing in the morning. Today I want to talk about the problem with a 100% raw food diet. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go down there and hit that subscribe button right now. Then click on the little bell as soon as you do that, and then check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. This will be the place where people will bug out. The purists, the extremists, the raw is everything, raw is law people will disappear. They don't like to hear anything. And I don't have a problem. This isn't like me coming to throw any shade on being 100% raw. 100% raw is a great thing. I've been 100% raw for periods of time. It was real easy down in Costa Rica. It just, and it is the absolute best feel to me there is. The problem with a 100% raw food diet is it becomes this end in of itself. It becomes like this holy grail. I talk about this over and over and over. It becomes, people are like, okay, if they won't verbalize this, but if you say, what's your focus? It's a raw food diet. It's being raw at all cost over their health. And also, too, it's the mentality of if you are not 100% raw, if you eat any cooked food, you've failed. You're a failure. This mentality of failure is something that I've seen affect so many people over the time that I've been kind of, doing this lifestyle myself. I've been aware of this lifestyle, been watching other people that do this lifestyle. I see this over and over and over the past 6 years. I see people who are actually doing a good job. If they're eating what they say they're eating, they list what they're saying, and then they'll be like, oh, but I ate this weekend. And you would think that they just drove up into Burger King and went on a bender and just was eating the most, and they haven't eaten anything that bad. Sometimes I've seen people freak out because they ate a potato or whatever it was cooked. So that's just not a good, healthy mentality to have about our food. We should eat with joy. We should be very content in our eating. Our eating should not cause us turmoil, because it's not all about just the science and the nutrients of the food as far as our health goes, but our mental attitude plays a large part on this. And when we're constantly, it's stress. It always goes back to stress. It's a form of stress that people put on themselves on this lifestyle. And I just don't find it very healthy. I don't find any obsession. I won't say that. There's probably a few out there that are insidious obsessions that might be good. But just in general, obsession is not a good thing. And people go over and over and over. And a lot of times, another problem with the 100% raw food diet is it's all or nothing. And when people will give it the try, and you'll kind of say, well, maybe try this, maybe transition a little slower, and it's like, nope, I'm going to be 100% raw. Well, when they hold on and they try and they, apparently it finally sinks in their head for whatever reasons, and it may just be their methods. It may be the fact that they've got to be raw all the time, that they can't be raw. But once they decide they've given it their all, then they tend to go the other way and they don't do raw at all. It's almost like, if I'm not going to do 100% raw, there's no value to this lifestyle whatsoever. I know I kind of exist in a murky gray area there. I don't find a lot of people who do this lifestyle like me, so I just probably have a unique approach on this. It probably has to do with the age at which I came to this. I'm just not a fanatic at anything anymore in my life. If I'd have come to this lifestyle 10 years earlier, oh yeah, I would have probably been an extreme raw is law person. But yeah, I just think, in general, as I always say, we should focus on our health. And it's just kind of a sad thing when people which, if you could actually live, if you're in the right area to get what you need, 100% raw food diet is a great thing. Like I say, let me just reiterate, I'm not knocking that. I'm not saying, yeah, that's not doable. It's not workable. It's not workable every place everybody is. I did a video talking about that not too long ago about, you've just got to realize where you are too. There's a lot of moving pieces that go with this thing. It's really tough when you see somebody that's in an area where it's really challenging to be 100% raw. They're gung ho. I'm going to be 100% raw. They're gung ho. I'm probably never going to leave my little area and move to a place where it's easier. And it's just almost, in a way, it's kind of like banging your head against a wall. It can also be very restricting if you have that absolutely extreme raw is law, I'm never eat cooked food type mentality, because it kind of restricts you a little bit. Or it just means you got to work more. And hey, I could be reflecting some of my laziness here, but that means everywhere you go, every time you travel, you have to prepare food, prepare to do without food. You have to, if you go on the road, let's say you travel, you have to make sure, what's in the area where I'm going to. Am I taking a Vitamix? Am I taking a NutriBullet? Are there going to be grocery stores in the area? And you have nothing to fall back on because you're 100% raw. You don't eat one bite of cooked food. So, making do on the road by popping in and grabbing a couple of plain potatoes somewhere is not within your realm. So, like I say, it can be very limiting as well. It can get people in trouble if they do go out and don't prepare when they're like, there is no eating anything cooked. Because then if you don't prepare your food, you do find yourself away from home, or you get out in a situation and you get hungry. People tend to freak out because they're like, well, I can't eat cooked food. Oh, no, I can't eat cooked food, but they need to eat. So it's just, like I say, it's kind of a limiting mentality. I'm just always about this lifestyle, doing the best you can where you are under your circumstances. And once again, let me bring it all back around to what I'm always talking about, is focus more on clean, healthy eating than whether it's fully raw all the time. Like, make the best choices. Don't make a choice, don't make questionable choices just to, okay, well, I stayed raw. And what I always use is an example on that. And I've seen this. I'll even go, well, let's go back to those nuts again. I know, and I used to do this as well too. I didn't do it too bad because I would carry just a limited amount. But another thing people will do is use nuts. I've talked about that many times, is using too many nuts to stay raw. And that especially, like, if you're traveling or whatever, nuts are easy to carry with you. Nuts are an easy way to stay raw on the go, but damn, you can eat a lot of fat, if you don't watch yourself on that. So, and a lot of times just it's psychological, just having that mentality puts pressure on people, and then it even gets in their head more, thinking about raw versus cooked, raw versus cooked, raw versus cooked. See, I don't sit around and think about that. But like I was saying a little while ago, I don't know. The way I do it is kind of odd. I know people that don't eat a bite of cooked food, and I know people who eat a good bit of raw but cooked food regularly. Either they eat cooked food every day, or they eat cooked food on a regular basis 3 or 4 times a week. Me, I'm just really random. I might go 3 or 4 weeks not eat any cooked food, and then I have some sweet potatoes. Or I might have 1 week where I eat sweet potatoes twice in a week, depending on how many bananas and whatever else I have. And I don't sweat that. I don't sweat that, because I step right back. I get like I can, I understand what some people are talking about. I do and I don't. I can kind of wrap my mind around it, but it's just not personal experience to me. This kind of mentality, ooh, if I eat that bite of cooked food, it's a slippery slope, and now all I want to do is keep eating cooked food. I'm more kind of like I decide what, it's like I kind of have that control. I just decide, okay, tonight, like I don't have this or that, so I'm going to eat sweet potatoes. I eat those sweet potatoes. The very next day, I'm back to eating, and a lot of times, just like almost this uber clean version. The next day, I may not have any fat. I might eat just bananas and fruit all day, and I just drop back into that. So it's it's so much of this raw thing is right up here because people are like magnifying it and making it this big deal. Let me go back to the very beginning of this video. Just don't make this raw food thing the holy grail. The raw food diet is a great way to live. I'm a proponent of it. I totally endorse it. I feel great on it. I'm not changing what I do, but like I say, give yourself a little slack and don't make that the most important thing. Where we are health wise, is always going to be the most important. So, anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed that one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.